In a small, serene village nestled between the mountains and a rushing river, there lived a monk named Li Chao. Known for his wisdom and tranquility, people from far and wide sought his guidance, hoping to find peace in their tumultuous lives. Despite his calm demeanor, Li Chao had once been a victim of his own chaotic thoughts. One morning, a young man named Wei visited the monastery, carrying with him the burden of a restless mind. His face was clouded with worry, and his eyes darted anxiously as if chased by invisible fears. Master Li Chao, Wei began, bowing respectfully. My thoughts are like a roaring river, swift and uncontrollable. They drag me into dark depths, and I do not know how to escape. Li Chao nodded knowingly, having heard similar tales from many who had sought his wisdom. He invited Wei to join him by the river that bordered the village. As they walked, the sound of rushing water filled the air, mirroring the chaos within Wei's mind. Sit here with me, instructed Li Chao as they reached a tranquil spot by the riverbank. Wei obeyed, settling himself beside the monk, who gazed calmly at the flowing water. Tell me, Wei, the monk asked, pointing at the river. Can you stop the river from flowing? Wei shook his head, an expression of frustration forming on his features. Of course not, Master Li Chao. The river is powerful and beyond my control. Li Chao smiled gently, a twinkle of wisdom in his eyes. And so are your thoughts, Wei. They're like this river, wild and abundant. Attempting to control them directly is as futile as stopping the river from flowing. Instead, learn to sit by the riverbank and watch them pass by without immersing yourself in them. Wei pondered Li Chao's words, watching the river flow effortlessly. Master, how do I achieve such stillness? Li Chao replied, begin with your breath. Each time your thoughts try to pull you into the current, return your attention gently to your breath, like an anchor in the storm. With practice, you will learn to be the observer, not the swimmer. Days turned into weeks, and Wei practiced diligently under Li Chao's guidance. Gradually, the relentless cacophony of his thoughts lost its hold over him. Instead of being swept away, he learned to float above them, a silent witness to the endless ebb and flow. In time, Wei's heart grew as tranquil as the monk's, no longer chained by his own thoughts. Those who knew him spoke of the miraculous transformation. Wei, now filled with gratitude, carried the teachings of the wise monk wherever he went, helping others find peace within their minds. In a serene monastery nestled in the heart of snow-capped mountains, there lived a wise and old monk named Master Li. His tranquil presence and calming aura had inspired countless individuals who sought solace from the chaos of their thoughts. One day, a young apprentice named Jian approached Master Li, troubled by his inability to control the whirlwind of emotions and thoughts swirling in his mind. Master Li, Jian began hesitantly, I find myself trapped in a storm of thoughts that I cannot escape. They dictate my happiness, my fears, and even my actions. How do I free myself from their grip? Master Li, with a gentle smile, gestured for Jian to sit beside him in the lush meditation garden. The mind can indeed be a formidable foe if left unchecked, he said softly. But remember, Jian, the key lies in understanding that you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of them. Curious and eager to learn, Jian listened with intent as Master Li continued his lesson. Imagine your mind as the clear blue sky, the master explained. Your thoughts are like passing clouds. They come and go, but they do not define the sky. You must practice acknowledging them without judgment, letting them float past without grasping them. Jian nodded, slowly beginning to comprehend the metaphor. The master then led him through a series of mindful breathing exercises, teaching him to anchor himself in the present moment, to feel the ground beneath him and the air entering his lungs. This grounding practice served as a reminder that the storms of thoughts, while sometimes fierce, were transient and could be observed without being owned. Over the weeks, Jin practiced diligently under Master Li's guidance. He learned to meditate daily, watching his thoughts with curiosity instead of fear. As he honed his skills, the grip of his thoughts loosened, and he found a renewed sense of peace and clarity. One morning, as a soft breeze whispered through the monastery garden, Jin smiled, realizing his thoughts no longer controlled him. He had transformed into the master of his mind, understanding at last that true freedom comes not from fighting his thoughts, but from letting them pass through and choosing which ones to give attention to. Thus, through the patient guidance of Master Li, Jin discovered that the journey to inner tranquility begins with the simple yet profound act of observing thoughts without attachment, a lesson both timeless and transformative. Once upon a time, in a serene monastery nestled between lush green hills, there lived a wise monk named Tashi. Tashi was known throughout the region for his calm demeanor and profound insights into the human mind. People from nearby villages often visited him to seek guidance on various matters, especially those related to their inner battles. Among the visitors was a young farmer named Chun, whose restless thoughts often kept him awake at night and anxious during the day. Despite his hard work in the fields, Chun felt he was being controlled by his own mind, unable to find peace. One day, he decided to visit the monastery and ask Tashi for help. "Wise monk Tashi," Chun began, "my mind is like a storm, and my thoughts chase me relentlessly. I want to be free from their grasp, but I do not know how." Tashi nodded understandingly and asked Chun to follow him to a quiet room within the monastery. There, Tashi placed 2 empty bowls and a handful of sand on the floor. "Life is like this sand," Tashi explained, "and your thoughts are like this storm." He scattered the sand across the surface of the wide bowl. "What do you see?" Tashi asked. "A mess, a storm of sand," replied Chun, confused. "Exactly," Tashi said. He filled the second bowl with water and gently spread sand on its surface. The sand settled calmly. "And now?" Tashi asked. "The sand is settled, peaceful," Chun observed. "Well, our minds are similar to these bowls," Tashi explained. "You can choose to be a storm or become the calm waters that only move gently and let things settle without disturbance." Chun pondered upon this and realized his focus had always been on resisting his thoughts, fueling the storm instead of allowing thoughts to settle naturally. Tashi advised, "Practice meditation to become like the still water. Allow your thoughts to come and go without judging them. Accept them without resistance, and gradually they will stop controlling you." From that day on, Chun practiced with dedication. At first, his mind raced, but soon he learned to observe his thoughts like clouds passing across the sky. Slowly, the storm within him subsided, replaced by serenity akin to the still waters Tashi had shown. Chun no longer was controlled by his thoughts, but had mastered the art of letting them be, finding peace and tranquility in each moment. He often returned to Tashi, not seeking answers, but basking in the wisdom that guided countless others towards inner peace. And thus, Tashi's lessons flowed through the valley, helping many find harmony with their thoughts.